I suppose it will take a few hundred years till this will be an absolute policy being instituted on Earth. It will be a time when we have realized that we will kill ourselves if we continue with these type of dictators which are around at the present time. We will have found something to prevent and take them out. You know, today it's almost impossible to take one of these dictators out of circulation. You know, you cannot somehow track them and so on. So it will take some time. But by that time, when is another civilization of these 4,000 in our level, and that we could have some contact with them? It will take. You see, all these habitable planets start at a slightly different times, yeah? And you can calculate what is the mean distance between our civilization and the one immediately following us in development and immediately in front of us. And there is many thousands of years difference. And these thousands of years will be just these times in which this solar hypothesis will take effect. So there are many questions of this type which one can ponder. But I think eventually we will have not, it cannot be completely brilliant. For instance, if we will do space travel, and you can calculate, if you have that many dead civilizations in our galaxy, as I calculated, almost all are dead, you know, of the 4 million or so planets which have developed intelligence, or 2 million planets at least, most are dead. You can throw 4 million or 2 million planets in this box of our galaxy and then look at the mean distance between failed civilizations. And you will find it's only 200 light years, yeah? And 200 light years would be some distance which could be done with space travel. So you might find a failed civilization in 200 light years distance. You could go to that planet and see, there was a famous civilization, but it killed itself. But we could do a lot of archaeology and find out what they knew and what they had learned and so on. They're great scientists and libraries and what else. So there is a lot of this thinking which one can do and possibilities.
Okay, so summarize my point.
Yes?
Okay. I was just thinking that if the extraterrestrial civilization is that developed, they must have mastered traveling, right? So sending a message to us wouldn't be that hard, because they wouldn't send it from there, from 5,000 years of light. They would have sent it nearer to us.
Yes.
So what I would like to ask is, if you know something about the wow signal, have you known about it?
Yes.
And what is it?
This was discovered in radio. It was a radio message which had this wow type of thing, but it was only discovered once. And
what is your assumption of that?
Well, you know, when you have events which occur only once, yeah, and you all know, I mean, I'm a theoretical physicist, okay, and I mistrust all theoretical programs, because I have had all my life, I played with big computer codes, and I know how easy it is to make mistakes. And I have heard the following thing, which I think is quite true. Everybody believes that theoretical physicists more than the theoretical physicists themselves, because they know how easy it is to have a bug in your computer code, in which you then later have to retract all your great conclusions to make it point. And the other side is also correct. If you are a great experimentalist, building of radio telescopes, you also are aware of how many errors and how many false observations you can get by doing observations. I just recall the idea of flare stars, which our French colleagues I think in somewhere, no, it was in southern France, in some observatory. They had suddenly all these many flare stars discovered. They had this very sensitive instrument in their dome, yeah? And then suddenly they realized whenever there was a cigarette being lit, you know, they had a flare star, yeah? So the light of lighting a cigarette, yeah, produced a flare star because the instrument was so sensitive. So I would say, if you had an observation which only occurred once, it could be so many things. You could only, in such an important thing like discovering another civilization, you would need to have multiple confirmations of this. And this is typically what physicists demand of you. So I would not play this wow, this one wow observation as being significant.
But the story with the discovery of the magnetic monopole.
Yes.
Just one announcement then, it was not found again and died. So in physics we have to experiment several times. Yeah.
I have a countryman called Schön or so, who produced 6 nature papers per year. He was at the front thing, and he was even considered as to be the head of the Max Planck Institute in Germany, until it was found that all these papers were produced by him, you know, the data were all dreamed up by him and published in Nature. Yeah? So he had to retrieve everything, and I don't know where he's vanished. Nobody hears from him again, you know. He's John Philipp Schön. So there was a lot of fraud also involved in science. Unfortunately, we should not do that, but this is the thing.
Yeah. So, back to this one, the last 3 points on your slide are conjectures, right?
Yes.
I consider the first one almost solid, okay, I accept it.
Yes.
But the 3, and for example, how do we know that they are, of course we say probable, but how do we know that they are here? I mean, is there any evidence? I'm not talking about proof.
Now, I started off my talk with saying that no evidence has ever been found.